Good afternoon, this is Nick with Williams Sewer Line Inspectors performing a video inspection for 4403 Caledonia Way in Los Angeles. Right now we're just a few feet into the line. We attempted to get into this line through a access, which was by removing a toilet. At this time, the pipes that were underneath the toilet do too many bends, and they prevent the camera from being able to go very far into the line. You can see this is a cast iron line here. This is what the cast iron starts to look like as it begins to get a little further along in its aging process. I believe this cast iron was installed in around the 40s. Typically cast iron lasts a good 60 or 80 years before needing replacement. This cast iron, as seen from under the house on a inspection of the where to get into the line, I was able to see some portions of the cast iron line. The portions I was able to look at didn't look to be in failure. They didn't have drips coming from them or signs of oxidation or rust pouring out from them. So I'm not recommending that the cast iron be replaced at this time, but I do recommend that since it's so far advanced in its expected lifetime, that it begins to get inspections on a somewhat regular basis, maybe every 3 or 5 years. Start to look at the pipe from outside of the pipe if possible. Camera inspections are nice for cast iron, but really, since it's out of the it's running through air underneath the house, it's nice to be able to just go down there and have a look at that cast iron and see if it's leaking or dripping or anything like that. And when it starts to do that, then that's the time that it's good to replace it. Let's pull back and take a look. Spot repairs are not very sensible with cast iron pipe, seeing as the pipe is all the same age, and repairing a small point where it's had failure doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Okay. I left a little bit of my camera cable lens down there from trying to get through this line. Okay. Alright, so this is the access that we used. One other small point about this access is this is a very nice tile that they've put down on the floor here, but as you can see, it's a fairly thick tile. This was probably set up for a very thin tile, or for maybe a linoleum floor or something like that. We have the size of the bolts are just barely the right size to be able to fit the nuts onto and get the toilet down onto it. Also, this wax ring isn't actually touching the bottom of the toilet. It's just not set up for reaching the toilet with this size of tile. So what I would recommend is that a second wax ring be put on. The problem with that is that with those size of bolts, once you put a second wax ring on, it'd be very, very difficult to get that toilet back down seated properly. So what I would recommend fully is these bolts are replaced with a bolt which is maybe a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch longer, perhaps even 3/4 inch longer. That the wax ring is then put down on top of it. The toilet is seated so it smushes the wax ring, gets a really good seal, and then the bolts will still be able to be accessed and be able to tighten the toilet down properly. Other than that, there's no real access into this line. I do recommend that an access be installed. There's several good places underneath the house where it can be seen that an access could be put into it. Some are easier than others. The furthest towards the point where the pipe exits the house is going to be the most valuable place to put an access, because it removes a lot of bends and turns. The best place for an access is where the pipe actually leaves the building. If that's possible, then that would be wonderful. Other than that, an access installed into the visible pipe underneath the house would allow for a much easier inspection. Again, this is Nick with Williams Sewer Line Inspectors. Thank you very much. Please see my written report for all final findings and recommendations. Have a great day.